evening, everyone. So, what do you think are the factors that affect the spread of fire? Do you have any idea? If not, then allow me to share my gathered knowledge about the five related topic. For better understanding, please consider these relevant information that I'm about to share with you. There are three factors that helps or aids to spread the fire. First, we have the weather. Weather, it includes relative humidity, air temperature, and wind. Warmer temperatures and lower relative humidity make the fuels more receptive to ignition. Stronger winds supply oxygen to fire, preheating the fuels in the path of the fire and transport embers ahead of the flaming front. When hot, dry, and windy conditions occur simultaneously, fires can spread quickly. Second is fuel. It includes fuel load, fuel moisture. So first, fuel load. Very low volumes of fuel can result in a low intensity creeping fire. On the other hand, large volumes of fuel could result in a blow-up fire that is difficult to control. The more fuel burning, the more heat produced. Fuel moisture. Fuel moisture strongly influences fire ignition potential and flammability. The drier the fuels, the easier they are to burn. Fuel moisture is also an integral part of predicting fire behavior and fire spread probabilities. Lastly, we have the topography. Topography is the most stable variable in the fire behavior triangle. Slope, aspect, elevation, and topographic features influence fire spread or how fast a fire moves in feet per hour. For example, fires tend to spread faster up a slope than down one. There are three ways to transfer heat. First is conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction. So what is conduction? It is the transfer of heat by molecular activity which in a material or medium, usually a solid. Direct contact is the underlying factor in conduction. Example, if you touch this pan handle here, the pain you feel is the first result of the conducted heat passing from the wood-burning stove directly into our hand. In a structural fire, superheated pipes, steel girders, and other structural members such as walls and floors may conduct enough heat to initiate fires in other areas of the structure. Number 2. Convection. Please refer to the video above for the demonstration. Convection, it is the transfer of heat through a circulating medium, usually air or liquid. Heat transfer by convection is chiefly responsible for the spread of fire in structures. The superheated gases evolved from a fire are lighter than air and consequently rise. They can and do initiate additional damage. In large fires, the high fireball that accompanies the incident is referred to as a firestorm and is an example of convected heat. In our illustration above, the boiling manner of the water making the particles move vigorously is an example of convection. Number 3. Radiation. Radiated heat moves in wave and rays much like sunlight. Radiated heat travels the speed as the visible light 186,000 miles per second. It is primarily responsible for the exposure hazards that develop and exist during a fire. Heat waves travel in a direct or straight line from their source until they strike an object or a person. The heat that collects on the surface of the objects or building in the path of the heat waves is subsequently absorbed into its mass through conduction. For example, if you go near the fire, the heat waves travels directly to its surrounding until they strike any objects or any person. That is why even though we are not touching the fire or the handle of the pan, we can feel the heat radiating into our body, which makes the temperature warmer, also our body warmer. In conclusion, conduction requires a physical contact between the bodies or the portion of the bodies exchanging heat. Example, the handle of the pan and me. But the radiation does not require any contact or the presence of any matter between the bodies. Convection occurs when a liquid or gas is in contact with a solid body at different temperature and is always accompanied by the motion of the liquid or gas. The science dealing with a transfer of heat between bodies called heat transfer. The physical methods or by which an energy in the form of heat can be transferred between bodies are conduction and radiation. A third method which also involves the motion of matter is called convection.